Before you skip this, listen carefully. This message may be the answer to the prayer you couldn't even put into words. There's a kind of tiredness sleep can't fix, a heaviness that sits quietly in your chest, that follows you into every moment, that makes even simple things feel overwhelming. And maybe that's where you are right now. You've tried to stay strong. You've kept going when it hurt. You've told yourself, just one more day. But deep down, something feels worn out. So let me ask you something. What if this exhaustion is trying to tell you something important? What if the silence you've been feeling isn't absence? Because God is not ignoring you. He sees every hidden tear, every quiet struggle, every moment you almost gave up. But there's something you need to understand first, something most people miss when they reach this point. Stay with me, because what you're about to hear could change how you see everything you're going through. You've been strong for too long, longer than anyone realizes, longer than you ever thought you could handle. From the outside, it looks like you're holding everything together. You show up, you respond, you smile when people expect you to. You say, "I'm fine," even when something inside you feels like it's slowly wearing down. But the truth is, you're tired. Not just physically. Your mind feels crowded. Your thoughts don't rest. Even in quiet moments, there's a weight you can't seem to shake. You wake up already drained. You go through the day on autopilot. And at night, when everything slows down, that's when it hits the hardest. The questions, the pressure, the silence. You've been carrying things you never talk about, battles no one sees, fears you push down just to make it through another day. And somewhere along the way, you started wondering if anyone truly understands how heavy it feels. Even in your prayers, something has changed. You still speak the words, you still try to believe, but it feels different now, quieter. You've asked God for help, but heaven feels silent. And you don't always say it out loud, but the question has crossed your mind more than once. God, are you still there? Do you see me? Why does this feel so hard for so long? You try to stay faithful. You remind yourself of what you've been taught. But when nothing seems to shift, when the waiting stretches on, it starts to wear on you. You begin to feel alone, even in your faith, and that might be the hardest part. Because it's one thing to face struggles, it's another thing to face them while wondering why God seems quiet. So you keep going, you keep showing up, but inside, something is asking for rest, real rest, not just a break, but relief from everything pressing on your soul. And here's the part many people don't talk about. Sometimes the strongest people are the most exhausted, because they've been carrying everything for everyone for too long. But what if the weight you're feeling right now is not meant to stay on you? What if there's a reason this exhaustion has reached this point? And this is where everything begins to shift, because what you're feeling right now is not something God ignores. He speaks directly to it. Come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. That invitation is clear, it is personal, it is meant for moments exactly like this. Notice what he didn't say. He didn't say, fix yourself first. He didn't say, be stronger. He didn't say, hide your weakness. He said, come. Come as you are. Come with the weight. Come with the questions. Come even when your faith feels tired. Because God already knows. He sees the pressure you've been under. He understands the silent battles. He recognizes the exhaustion you've been trying to push through. And he doesn't respond with disappointment. He responds with an invitation to rest. Then there's another promise. The Lord is my shepherd. I lack nothing. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. He restores my soul. Restoration. Not just relief for a moment, but a deep renewal that reaches the part of you that feels worn out. And look closely at those words, "He makes me lie down." Because sometimes we keep pushing when our soul is asking us to stop. We keep carrying things we were never meant to hold alone. So God steps in, not to pressure you, but to guide you into a place of peace. A place where your mind can quiet down, a place where your heart can breathe again. This changes the way you see your exhaustion, because it's not proof that you failed. It's not a sign that you're weak. It's a signal that something inside you needs attention, a signal that you've been giving out more than you've been receiving, a signal that it's time to return, not run harder. Your exhaustion is not a failure, it's a signal. And if you listen closely, it may be pointing you towards something deeper than just rest, something that could change how you carry everything from this moment forward. What if your exhaustion is not the end, but a transition? Stay with that for a moment, because everything begins to change when you stop seeing this season as something breaking you and start seeing it as something preparing you. What if the tiredness in your soul is not there to defeat you, but to redirect you? There are moments in life when strength runs low for a reason, not because you've reached your limit, but because God is shifting where your strength comes from. You've been relying on your effort, your endurance, your ability to hold everything together. But now that strength feels different, weaker, unsteady. And that can feel unsettling until you understand what's really happening. Because some exhaustion goes deeper than the body. It reaches into your spirit. It shows up when you've been carrying too much alone, when you've been giving out more than you've received, when you've been trying to control outcomes that were never yours to manage. That kind of burnout doesn't just need rest, it needs realignment. And sometimes God allows that moment, not to harm you, but to bring you closer. Because when your own strength fades, you begin to look for something greater. You begin to seek Him differently, more honestly, more deeply. And that's where the shift begins. God is not draining you, He is detoxing you, removing the pressure to be everything, removing the need to have all the answers, removing the weight you were never meant to carry. It may feel uncomfortable, because letting go always does, but what's being removed is not meant to stay, and what's coming requires space. So this moment, this heaviness, this slowing down, it has purpose. You are not being abandoned, you are being repositioned, moved away from constant pressure and into a place where you can depend on God in a deeper way. A place where peace is not based on circumstances, but on trust. And here's what makes this so important to understand. If you misread this season, you'll try to fight it. You'll push harder. You'll carry more. You'll wear yourself down even further. But if you see it clearly, you'll respond differently. You'll begin to release what's weighing you down. You'll stop forcing what isn't working. You'll allow God to lead instead of trying to control everything. And that's where something powerful begins to happen. Because when you stop striving, you start receiving. When you stop forcing, you start trusting. And when you stop carrying everything alone, you begin to experience the kind of strength that doesn't run out. But there's something even deeper happening here, something many people never fully recognize. And once you see it, you won't look at your exhaustion the same way again. But here's what most people don't realize. Exhaustion like this doesn't just appear without a reason. It doesn't settle this deep unless something beneath the surface has been building for a long time. There's a reason your soul feels this tired, and it's deeper than stress. It's deeper than a busy schedule, deeper than lack of sleep, deeper than everything you can explain on the outside. Because you can rest your body and still feel drained. You can take a break and still feel heavy. So what is it? What is really causing this kind of exhaustion? Why does it feel like no matter what you do, the weight remains? That question matters, because until you understand the source, you'll keep trying to fix the symptoms, and that only leads to more frustration. You'll keep pushing yourself to be stronger when what you actually need is something different. You'll keep searching for relief in temporary things, but never feel fully restored. And slowly, without realizing it, you'll start accepting this exhaustion as normal, but it isn't. There's something underneath all of this, something that has been quietly shaping how you feel, how you think, and how you carry your life. And most people miss it completely. They stay stuck in the cycle, tired, overwhelmed, trying harder, but never understanding why. But you're not going to miss it, because once you see it, everything begins to make sense. The weight, the silence, the constant pressure, it all connects. And when you finally understand what's really going on, you won't just feel temporary relief. You'll know how to step into something deeper, something steady, something that doesn't fade the moment life gets difficult. But before that happens, you need to see what's been draining you this whole time. And the third part of this is where it becomes clear for most people. Don't miss this. Now let's uncover what's really been draining you, because once you see this clearly, things begin to change. There are patterns behind this kind of exhaustion, quiet habits, hidden pressures, things that build over time. And most people don't realize they're caught in them. The first one is this: you've been carrying what God didn't assign to you. Not every burden is yours, but somewhere along the way you picked up responsibilities that were never meant for you to hold alone. Other people's expectations, other people's problems, outcomes you feel responsible to fix. You stepped in because you care, because you're strong, because you didn't want things to fall apart. But now it's all sitting on you, and it's heavy. Because when you carry what God didn't give you, you also carry the pressure to control what only He can handle. That weight was never designed for your shoulders, and the longer you hold it, the more it drains you. Now here's the second one. You've been pouring without being filled. You give your time, your energy, your attention. You show up for others. You listen. You support. You keep being there, even when you're running low. But when was the last time you paused long enough to be filled again? Not distracted, not busy, not multitasking, but truly still in God's presence. Because giving without receiving will always lead to emptiness. And sometimes we stay active because slowing down would force us to face how tired we really are. So we keep going. But your soul wasn't created to run on empty. It needs renewal. It needs connection. It needs time with God that is not rushed, not forced, but real. And when that's missing, you feel it, even if everything on the outside looks fine. Now the third one, and this is where most people miss it. You've been fighting battles alone. Not because you want to, but because somewhere deep down you feel like you have to. You try to figure everything out. You think through every possible outcome. You carry the pressure of making the right decisions. And without realizing it, you place yourself at the center of everything. If it works, it's on you. If it fails, it's on you. That kind of pressure is exhausting, because control feels safe, but it demands more than you can sustain. And the truth is, you were never meant to handle life that way. There are battles you cannot win through effort alone. There are situations that will not change through worry. But when you carry them as if everything depends on you, your soul pays the price. And this is where the shift begins. Because once you recognize these patterns, you can finally release them. You can let go of what was never yours. You can return to the place where your soul is filled. You can step back from trying to control everything. But knowing this is only the beginning. Because there's something God offers in place of all that weight. Something that doesn't just help you cope, but actually restores you from the inside out. And this is where God's promise meets you right in the middle of your exhaustion. He gives strength to the weary and increases the power of the weak. Even youths grow tired and weary, and young men stumble and fall. But those who wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. There's something important in that. It doesn't say you won't get tired. It doesn't say you'll always feel strong. It says God gives strength to the weary. Meaning your exhaustion does not disqualify you. It places you in the exact position to receive from Him. And then comes the part many people misunderstand. Those who wait on the Lord. Waiting can feel frustrating. It can feel like nothing is happening, like time is passing and your situation remains the same. But waiting, in this sense, is not about being stuck. It's about staying connected. It's choosing to trust God, even when you don't see immediate change. It's remaining in His presence, instead of rushing ahead in your own strength. Because something is happening in that space. Strength is being renewed. Quietly, steadily, deep within you. Not the kind of strength that fades under pressure, but the kind that holds you steady when everything else feels uncertain. And look at how that promise ends. They will soar. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not faint. That's restoration. Not just getting through the moment, but rising above what once drained you. So what feels like waiting is actually renewal in progress. What feels slow is God rebuilding your strength in a way that will last. And if you can begin to see it this way, then this season you're in right now is not holding you back. It's preparing you for a different way of moving forward. And now this is where everything begins to lift. Because after everything you've been carrying, everything you've been trying to hold together, there's a truth that changes how you move forward from here. You don't need more strength. You need surrender. Let that settle for a moment. Because for so long, you've been trying to push through, trying to hold on tighter, trying to figure everything out. But the answer was never in doing more. It was in releasing more. Releasing the pressure, releasing the need to control every outcome, releasing the belief that everything depends on you, because it doesn't. Rest is found in trusting God, not fixing everything. And that changes everything. It means you don't have to wake up carrying the weight of the entire day. It means you don't have to solve every problem before you feel peace. It means you don't have to keep proving your strength just to make it through. You can let go, not of responsibility, but of pressure, not of effort, but of fear. This is the shift from pressure to peace, from striving to surrender. And when that shift happens, something inside you begins to settle. Your thoughts slow down. Your breathing steadies. Your heart no longer feels like it's racing to keep up with everything around you. Because now, you're no longer carrying it alone. God is fighting for you. Even in moments where you don't see it clearly, even when nothing around you seems to be changing, He is working in ways you cannot always trace. And that means you can rest. Not later, not when everything is perfect, but now. You are allowed to rest, allowed to pause, allowed to breathe, allowed to stop carrying what was never yours to hold alone. And this doesn't mean your situation disappears instantly, but it does mean something deeper begins to change. You begin to walk through it differently, with less fear, with more trust, with a quiet confidence that you are not alone in this. And then something else begins to rise. Hope. Not based on what you see right now, but based on who God is. Because your season will change. It may not happen all at once. It may not happen the way you expect, but it will happen. The heaviness you feel now will not last forever. The silence you've been experiencing will not define your entire story. There is movement happening, even if it feels slow. There is progress, even if it's not obvious yet. And as you begin to release and trust and rest, you'll notice something powerful. The same things that once overwhelmed you will no longer have the same hold on you, because you're no longer trying to carry them in your own strength. You're walking with God through them, and that changes everything. So right here, in this moment, you don't have to keep pushing the same way. You don't have to keep holding everything together. You can rest, knowing you are being carried, even now. Father, you see the one watching this right now. You see where they are. You understand what they're carrying, and you know the weight they don't speak about to anyone else. You see the tiredness in their soul, the thoughts they try to quiet, the pressure they've been holding in for so long. Lord, you know their silent battles. You know the nights they've struggled to rest, the moments they've felt overwhelmed, the times they've tried to stay strong when they felt like giving up. And even now, as they listen to this, you are right there with them. So, Father, I ask you, meet them in this moment. Bring your peace into every place in their heart that feels unsettled, every thought that feels heavy, every burden that feels too much to carry. Give them rest in their soul, not just physical rest, but deep, quiet peace, the kind that settles their mind, the kind that lifts the weight they've been feeling. Lord, help them release what they've been holding on to, the pressure, the fear, the need to control everything. Remind them that they don't have to carry it alone, that you are with them, that you are guiding them, that you are working even when they cannot see it. Father, restore their strength. Where they feel weak, be their strength. Where they feel empty, fill them again. Where they feel uncertain, steady them. Lift the heaviness from their heart and replace it with your peace. Let your presence quiet every anxious thought and bring calm where there has been tension. Lord, breathe new strength into them. Strength to keep going. Strength to trust you. Strength to rest without fear. And Father, I declare over them right now, this season of exhaustion will not define them. Peace is coming. Clarity is coming. Renewal is happening, even now. What feels heavy will begin to lift. What feels uncertain will begin to settle. You are making a way for them, step by step, moment by moment. And even in this season, you are drawing them closer, teaching them to trust you in a deeper way. Father, remind them, they are not alone. They are not forgotten. They are held in your care. Let your presence surround them right now and let them feel a calm they haven't felt in a long time. We place everything into your hands and we trust you completely. In Jesus' name, amen. If you're still watching this, then this message was meant for you, not by accident, not by chance. Through everything you've been feeling, through the exhaustion, the questions, the quiet moments, you were led here for a reason. Because in the middle of all of it, you needed this reminder. You are not alone. Even when it feels quiet, even when it seems like nothing is changing, even when you don't have the words to explain what's going on inside, God sees you. He sees your effort. He sees your patience. He sees the strength it takes just to keep going. And more than that, He understands. You don't have to hide how you feel. You don't have to pretend to be stronger than you are. Right here, in this moment, you are seen, you are known, and you are cared for. And there is a place for you, a place where you don't have to carry everything alone. So hold on to this. You are not forgotten, you are not overlooked, and you are not walking through this by yourself. Even now, you are being guided, you are being sustained, and you are being gently led into rest. If this message spoke to your heart, don't keep it to yourself. Type Amen if you receive this rest today. Let it be your declaration, your step of faith, your agreement with what God is doing in your life. And if something in this message truly reached you, comment, "God is my strength," not just as words, but as a reminder of where your help comes from. There are others who feel exactly the way you felt before watching this, tired, overwhelmed, searching for peace. So take a moment and share this with someone who needs encouragement. You never know how much it could mean to them. And if you want more messages like this, moments that bring peace, clarity, and strength, subscribe and stay connected, because you don't have to walk this journey alone.